All right, y'all, so I'm going to show you how to rig up an Islander lure. This is my absolute favorite lure to run in the springtime, summertime. Love running this in the Gulf Stream for wahoo, dolphin. I've had kings hit it, tuna will hit this, billfish will hit it. I've had sailfish hit it before. Sometimes blue marlin will hit it, white marlin. But what I'm going to show you today is the way I like to run it specifically for wahoo and dolphin. So what I do is I like to use 108-pound test Malin hardwire. And that's really good for some of those toothier fish, also those bigger fish. Like I said, billfish will hit it, wahoo. 3 8-ounce egg sinkers I like to run with it, just to give it a little bit of weight to hold that down underwater right, hold the ballyhoo right so it's swimming good. And I also like using Mustad 8.0 hooks, just like that there. So I'm gonna take this out of the packaging here. They don't come rigged, they come with nothing on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hardwire here, and this is an extra spool I've already pulled out, and I've got 6 feet about pulled off. So I'm just going to take my wire cutters, clip those somewhere around 6 feet. Don't need to be exact, but that's just what I like to run. And then from there I'll just run it through the head, just like there. And what I'm going to do before anything else, I'm going to take the other end of this wire that comes out of the head, and I'm going to make a really little loop, but maybe about the size that you could slide your pinky finger through, if that. But I'm going to pull it down, and the way I make that loop is I just bring it down and cross. And then you can do this with pliers, or some people do it with their fingers. I'm just going to do it with my fingers here, but I'm just going to wrap it around and make a really, really tight coil around there. And I may need to switch over to using my pliers, because sometimes it's going to be tough, and I like to make very tight coils. So let's see what I can do. And these coils, you may feel like it won't hold in place, but these coils are going to, it's bent metal is what it is. So think of it that way. That's going to hold your fish on there right. So just like that. And I've got maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 coils right there. That ought to be plenty. And then that tag end, just going to cut that off as close as I can so I don't have that catching on to seaweed and just mess out while it's trolling. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here to the other end, and I'm just going to be, at this point you can just let the head hang on this, and it won't come off because it's got that loop on the other end holding it still. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my egg sinkers, and it's just like that, just a 3 8-ounce egg sinker, run my wire through there. And I'm going to take one of those 8.0 big game hooks, put it through there. So what I've got is I've got the rig set up now where I've got the loop at the top, I've got the lure, I've got the egg sinker in the middle, and I got the hook at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that egg sinker up to the hook, just like that. I'm going to go over the sinker, bending my wire back, and pull it down tight against the rest of the wire behind it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make those coils as tight as I can up against the back side of that egg sinker. What that's going to do is it's going to make a pouch, it's going to make a loop. It's going to hold that hook and that sinker together so it keeps it right there under the ballyhoo's chin. While he's trolling, that's going to keep him right side up like he needs to be. So your coils don't need to be pretty, they just need to be tight. So I'm probably going to do about 5 or 6 here. And then what you do with that tag end, you want it to come, if you've got the hook This way, you want your tag end to come down the bottom. So I'm going to do it just like, I'm going to make one more coil then, just to get it right like I want it. So you want it just like that. So the hook's going up, the tag end's going down, and I'm going to take maybe an inch of that tag end and leave it on there. Maybe a little bit more than an inch. I'm just going to cut it there. And then what you got, you let your lure hang down. You got an offshore lure, rigged up, ready to go. And the way this works is when you're rigging up your ballyhoo, you make sure that this hook, once it's on there right, once it's lined up like that, the hook is coming out the belly of the ballyhoo. And you'll have the tag end that you slide up under his chin and come out his nose. And with that tag end, you can just wrap a rubber band around the tag end and wrap it around his nose and then hook it back onto the tag end once it's tight. That'll hold his nose on there, keep him swimming just straight. Anyway, that's the way I like to do it. I've got some more to get rigged up here. Planning on going out fishing tomorrow, so I'm going to see what I can do. But anyway, that's what I like to do for wahoo, dolphin. I've said I've hooked sails on this. It's not the way I like to do it to get them to the boat, because that hadn't worked with this before. But no, this is a very effective setup, and I highly recommend it. When you are trolling though, I like to leave the white side down and the blue side up, and what that does is that mimics the belly of a fish that's usually white and the back of a fish that's usually blue. Also, if you got a fish where they attack from below, which is how they usually do when they're feeding, then they're going to see that bright white opposed to that blue. They're seeing blue all day. If you give them something white to look at, it's going to catch your attention. Anyway, thanks for watching.